Hi, in this video, I'm going to introduce present perfect tense. First, let's take a look at this passage. In this news article, it talks about how Cathay Pacific Airways treats its staff during the outbreak of coronavirus. I've picked 5 sentences from the news article, and let's take a look at the underlined words. What are the part of speech of these words? Are they verbs? Are they adjectives? Are they nouns? Are they pronouns? Or are they anything else? Yes, they are verbs. We know that these words are verbs because these words tell us what happened in the sentences. They are the actions in the sentences. For example, we know that Cathay Pacific Airways has asked, so they took an action to ask their staff to take unpaid leave. The carrier, Cathay Pacific, has already decided to cut capacity, so this is the action that they're going to do. So these words, they are verbs and they tell us the action in the sentences. But wait a minute. If they're all verbs, how come they are in different language form? How come in the first 2 sentences there are has and then ed, while in the last 3 sentences there's no has this word, but only ed or irregular verb? Why is it different? They are different because they have different tenses. What does it mean? So when we see ed words like tumbled, continued, or irregular verb like fill, can you identify the tense of these words? Yes, they're in past tense, which means the actions were done in the past. It's finished. So it's past tense, right? You know it, right? Then what about has asked, has decided? What tense is it? Can you identify it? Have you learned it before? The words has asked, has decided, they're actually in present perfect tense. So what does it mean? Is it like present tense? Or is it like future tense? Or is it like past tense? What is it? If you see present perfect tense, present means now at the present, at the moment, okay? But when we see perfect, this word, it means it's something that is finished, done, completed. So whenever we use present perfect tense to describe an action, then the action is actually completed by now. So let's take a look at these sentences again, these examples again. The first 2 sentences, we see present perfect tense, has asked, has already decided. And then the last 3 sentences, we see past tense, tumbled, continued, fail. I think for past tense it's very easy, right? Because the news was reported in February 2020. But the events happened in November, December 2019. So it was a past event already. So definitely we would use past tense for those actions. Then what about the first 2 sentences? Why do we use present perfect tense? What does it mean? As we said, present perfect means something that is done, completed at the present moment. Which means those actions have been completed before now already. So it's just like past tense. If something happened before, it's not happening now. It has been completed. So let's take a look at the first sentence. Cathay Pacific Airways has asked 27,000 of its staff to take unpaid leave. So this action actually has been done. Cathay Pacific Airways asked 27,000 of its staff to take unpaid leave before. They have decided to cut capacity, so it's a completed decision already. They've made decision already. It's done. It's in the past. So when we want to say some action that is done before now, we would use present perfect tense. Now at this moment, I'm sure you're confused. If you say present perfect tense is some action that is completed before now, if something happened in the past, then what is the difference between present perfect tense and past tense? If all these actions happened before now, why don't we all just use past tense? Good, if you have this awareness, then you're on the right track. But we're not going to explain it right now. We're going to explain it in another video. But at least right now, you should understand that present perfect tense is similar to past tense. They are talking about action that happened before now. It happened in the past too. And later on, we'll explain the differences between past tense and present perfect tense. At this moment, I just want you to remember the language form. So when we see these words, has have or has have not, and then you see a past participle like ed word. Okay, when you recite your verb table, go, went, gone, do, did, done, or the ed word, the last column, that is past participle. So if you can see has have plus a past participle, then you can identify it as present perfect tense. This is what you need to know by now after watching this video, okay? So remember, this is the language form of the present perfect tense in positive statement and negative statement. Has have not, plus a past participle. Or, apart from positive statement and negative statement, we can also look at the question, how we form question in present perfect tense. When we see has have plus the subject plus the past participle and then the ending of the sentence, this is the form of a present perfect tense question. For example, have you finished your homework? Has she drunk the milk? So if you see has have and then the subject and then the ed word or the irregular verb, that's the past participle, then you can identify as present perfect tense. So this is the end of the video. I hope that after watching this video, at least you can first identify the language form of present perfect tense.